Yo, yo. Always got something to drink when I'm coming on this joint. I should start endorsing beverages and shit. Cause I always got something to drink. I'll let a few of y'all join up before I start running my mouth. You know how I do. Talk to y'all in a second. Hold on. See you in these comments. Oh, spelled that wrong. Marcus Montgomery, what's up with you, Brody? He said, "What up, though? What's up, man?" Let a few more of y'all join up. You know how I do, man. So throughout the week, I continuously watch the same film over and over again. Murdoch, what's good? Just to figure out who's the real problem, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, whatever. Not wrong about Eberflus. I feel like Eberflus is still very stubborn and he's doing a myriad of things that I don't like and are unbecoming of a seasoned coach, which he is, which is, a head scratcher. But at the same time, I have to give credit where credit is due. Certain parts of the scheme. It's funny that you say that. Amazing creations. It's like you read my mind. But certain parts of the scheme, I see what he was attempting to do, and he technically wasn't wrong for those calls. Again, it still comes down to personnel and execution, though. But some of the calls he made, you put the guys in position to make a play. You intend for them to make it, right? They have to make some of these plays that you're looking at on screen. But what I've seen, speaking of which, you said you wish they ran a 3-4, amazing creations. They actually did run 3-4 in this game quite a bit, actually. In their base formations, you'll see 3-4 looks all day, and some of them were effective. I won't front. I think the sack from Marist was out of a 3-4 look too. So they did run some of that. So it's not like they didn't do it. Certain calls that were made were poorly executed, and number 82, I gotta give him his credit. Whoever the hell number 82 is for Carolina, he was out there blocking the edges by himself like a grown man. He was just destroying, not just kneeling. He destroyed Sam Williams, kneeling, and Fowler. He just smacking them. He was smacking everybody up to the point where he got tired. I thought he got hurt. He got out of the game. I thought something must have happened to 82. He came back in the game still slapping guys. So I'm like, man, he was killing it. He said, one problem is we still have a lot of Dan Quinn's guys here. I mean, I could say that, but they still got to play. And you can tell a guy, you can get a guy to play in a different scheme if you teach him what they're supposed to be doing. And I think that was one of the biggest things that stood out to me on screen. It was guys are jumping out of position, and the only way I can think of them doing that, or a reason they could be doing it, and these are veterans like Donald Wilson, so on, is because they don't know why they're where they are on that particular play. Because if you know what your responsibilities are on certain plays, even if you just do the bare minimum, you know not to break down the integrity of the defensive scheme or the call. I remember on one blitz where you're going to see it, Donovan Wilson blitzes, they're crashing towards him so that he has room to get there, and it's just him on the running back. So yeah, it's designed for you to get to the quarterback, but at worst, you're supposed to keep him in the pocket so that those other guys can rally to the quarterback and force either air throw or a sack. He's going so hard for the sack that he breaks contain and gives it up. So I'm going to get to it because it's 3:00 already for me. It's a lot of things I got to do today. Congratulations to myself and my team and my partner and my lady. We just grabbed another facility for our program, and it's a 15-room facility, and I'm going to be doing a lot of rehab on that. So hopefully there will be no lulls in my activity online, but definitely got to get back down to the city for that today. So yeah, there's some stuff going on, man. Mike Tyke, what's up, man? It has been a while. He said, I think that was that treble guy. If his name's Treble, he was definitely number 82 was definitely smacking guys up, man. Mike Tyke, he said, "What up, Akoye? Been a while. Keep up the great work, man. I ain't got no choice. I ain't got no choice." T Jack, what's up? All right, so everybody for the film? Let's do it. It's 25 of y'all in here. It's gonna be more in a second, but I'll let y'all join up as we move forward. But here we go. Let me get myself out of here. Add this to the stage. All right. Now, now pay attention to the trend, right? Because we keep talking about Eberflus, and I talk about him too, right? Watch this. Now, this is what he called, and he called basically a safety blitz, right? And it's a run blitz off the edge. Everybody else is in their gap. Nealon is currently in his gap. This is not a bad call from a coach if you're looking to be more aggressive versus the run, right? And this is the very beginning of the game. So this is Wanye Thomas, who we've all, been asking for more of. This is his responsibility here. Wanye, you can't miss this tackle. And two, Nealon, you can't get pushed out of there. I think this is by a tight end too, but you can't get pushed out of there and spunt out. He spun out of the hole. Yeah, it was a tight end that did that to him. But he spun out of the hole and got himself thrown out of there. Let's watch that one more time. You see, Nealon did that himself. You guys on the edges, you can't keep getting blocked by tight ends. If I don't care who you are. If you're a defensive end and you keep getting tight end assignments, those are your jobs or those are your opportunities to blow those types of plays up. Here again. Now this one's on Dono and Nealon. So when you watch both those guys on this play, did the coach call a bad play here? Boom. It's a defensive end on a tight end, right? You're supposed to kill that guy. Number 82, once again, is putting in that work. But right now, Donovan Wilson's in his gap, and you can see that Shamar James is in his gap, right? Watch how they progress after the fact. So Shamar James can't see anything, so he's guarding his gap. He only sees grass. He's guarding the grass, right? Donovan Wilson, you can shoot this right now, right? But what you can't do is jump outside, right? And this is what he does. Boom. You see, he jumps outside. That's not your gap. That is Bland's gap. He jumps outside, and now he leaves that lane. And Shamar James and Kenneth Murray is now in the gap where Shamar James was initially. Shamar James has not moved. He's still reading what? I don't know, but he's still there. So both those guys stayed put. Murray's kind of flowing to the ball, but the rest of these guys are stationary. And that's where that gap came from. But it came initially from the hesitation right here by Donald Wilson. Like, you could have shot this, and even if you miss, you shoot this, you clog this up, and somebody else can come make that play. But trying to play hero ball here, he's just one of many that's doing it. And then you see 82 once again. Watch 82. You see 82? What 82 doing? Taking Nealon on another ride. We're going to take you on a ride, son. 9 yards down the field. There we go. 82 is a blocking mother effer. I swear. Like, look at that. I mean, that's a hell of a block. Here, this play here pissed me off with the fans because, and we listen to a lot of things, but people don't understand what's going on. So if this is the right play, let me make sure I'm right first. This is the right play, I believe. This is the play where they think that a wide receiver blocked Sam Williams. Yeah. No, the wide receiver did not block Sam Williams. This is a crash and scrape. So he's crashing the B gap. Sam Williams wants to be where he is, right? You're going to see later on he's going to break up a play doing the same thing. Everyone else is converging on that spot. So Sam Williams' job is to create chaos going towards the B gap. And then off his hip is supposed to be Murray. Murray's supposed to be scraping, and his job is to scrape and fill that C gap and replace him, right? Well, Murray widens out, and then the rest of these guys are supposed to be in pursuit right around here. So he crashed the B gap as he's supposed to, but Solomon Thomas is on the ground, and you can see Toye is already sealed off. Murray is thinking, hey, let me make sure this stays inside. Why? Because then I got help inside, right? But he doesn't. You see, as Araku's trailing, you see Shamar James is being blocked by 82. He gets past that there. Murray, I think, should have kind of took a better angle to this ball. He should have kind of attacked the inside. You know what I mean? But if he does, then Reddy Stewart's going to get blocked on the outside. But either way, Murray's guessing that I'm keeping this ball inside, and he jumps outside, right? You could say that's wrong, but that's where the help is. Sam Williams did not get blocked all the way across the field. He literally ran that way, but he can't plant and turn. That is true because of his knee. So he didn't get pushed there by the wide receiver. Let's watch Sam Williams' job again. Just watch what he does on the play. Sam Williams, he takes an inside step. He's already inside by the time he's engaged by the wide receiver, which is kind of behind him. And he's converging towards the ball, but he can't turn. And that's from his knee injury. He can't turn and plant and get back to that. But look at the pursuit from the back end. There's nobody back here pursuing. The pursuit from the back end, Solomon Thomas is on the ground as Araku's kind of too far away from it. James is going to go underneath 60 there. You see 60? Watch James. He's going to go underneath. and then there's just a wide open lane for them to run because of all that went on. But bad play, obviously. But I don't think Sam Williams got pushed out of there legitimately by a wide receiver. I'm just giving him his credit where credit's due. Here, okay, this is the play I was talking about when we first started. Now, look where everybody's crashing at the beginning of the play. Everybody's crashing to their right or our left, the left of the screen, but the right of the play. The reason being is they wanted an ISO between Donovan Wilson and a running back, where Donovan Wilson is currently. Get down there and make sure not only do you have an opportunity for a sack, but you have to come down the line of scrimmage. Why? Because if you cut this angle too sharp, you're giving him an easy escape route. You see where everyone else is trying to work towards Young here, right? So you got Clowney that's working, you got coverage that's working because Ezraku. And for those who just asked about the 3-4 look, let's go back to this play once more. I'm gonna show y'all once again. Look at this front. Okay, sorry. Look at this front. Okay, hold on. Let me go back just a little bit. Okay, this is pre-snap. This is 3-4, which I like. So some of the things that Eberflus was doing to try to change things, like going into 3-4 type looks, they would be effective. It's just one player on each one of these plays is kind of like screwing the pooch. But look here, you got Ezraku on the left. He's stand up outside linebacker now. Clowney on the right, stand up outside linebacker, and they got 3 down linemen in between them. The 2 ends are playing for attack, and then you got a 0, right? This is 3-4 with a safety in the box, which is I want to see more of this, yes. But this is good. Now watch what happens right in front of this play, right? Boom. Watch what happens. Boom. Everybody crashes, like I said, to the left. Boom. Ezraku is covering that tight end on the backside. All right. And now his pressure is replaced by Donovan Wilson. Boom. This is good up to this point. Ezraku and James are on that tight end, and you see Murray on the other tight end. He has nowhere to go with this ball. As long as, I mean, honestly, if Donovan Wilson just stays where he is right now, this play goes nowhere. But Donovan is going to try to push through this right here. Boom. That was a dumb move, dumb play, dumb move, right? And once he pushes through, he gives him an escape route. And now he has somewhere to go with that ball, which is the run 10 yards with the ball. Sam Williams, watch him try to stop here. Watch him. Oh, he couldn't really see it. But when Sam Williams tried to stop on that play, let me know, hell yeah, you still have a bad knee. This is another 3-4 look, right? So these are 3-4 looks. You got Ezraku here to the right, standing up. You got Clowney over here to the left. You can call this 4-3 over, or you can call it 3-4, but it's a 3-4 look, right? Boom. Now, Sam Williams, you're supposed to hold up here, which he can't. I don't think Sam Williams is ready for full-time action. They say it takes a year to fully come back off of a knee injury, and that's true because he doesn't want to plant. You can tell. Watch this. When it's time to plant and go back towards resistance, Sam Williams can't do it yet. See, he kind of hangs out in the air. Even when I think if you pause it right, damn, I missed it again. But if you pause it at the right moment, you'll see his knees literally. He's in the air right there. You see that? He doesn't want to put that. I don't know if that's the leg or what, but he doesn't want to put that leg down. You can see him do this a lot if you're paying attention. But again, you see this trap block coming across as Araku meets it, and you see Shamar James clear his block, which is 84. I want him to flatten out a little bit, but he clears it, gets over the top of it, makes the tackle. It's for 4 yards. I'm not going to hate on that play. It wasn't too bad. This play, they actually stopped him for a 1 yard gain. Again, this is a blitz off the edge. You can see Sam Williams is killing this tight end on this play. And then you can see on the backside, you also see Wanye Thomas just free. He's blitzing. Boom. But yeah, Sam Williams kills this guy on this one, throws him out of there. And then Wanye comes and jumps up and, and beats that. But we didn't get enough of that. Because look at this, right? And there's no way you could tell me that the coach called this. I know he didn't, because everybody's in their gap initially, right? Shamar James, I don't know what he reads. I think, honestly, he's young and he tries to make exciting plays. So sometimes he just guesses because this looks more like guesswork than actual reading. Like right there. The ball's not even handed off yet. So you're not reading anything. And I know you didn't think the jet sweep was a handoff because he's all the way over there. He's already passed the quarterback. So he's not widening out because you think that, wide receiver has the ball. and you're not widening out because you think the running back's coming this way because he doesn't even have the ball yet. So what are you reading here? What are you keying? And even if you're blitzing, why are you blitzing all the way out? Like, where you going, right? So I don't know what he's doing there. And then when you look on the other side, you got Osa. So you got Jay Toya, who I give a lot of hell to, but he's in his gap. He's doing what he's supposed to do. We give Kenneth Murray a lot of hell. I give him hell for not, not meeting this block closer to the line of scrimmage, but he is reading and he is in his gap. Okay. Shamar James, I don't know where he was going on this play. And I don't know what the hell Osa was doing on this play jumping upfield because everybody else is kind of doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, Fowler's getting handled again by 82. I stopped giving everybody hell for getting handled by 82 because he was cleaning everybody the fuck out. Like 82, I would take him in a heartbeat on this team because if you want to talk physicality and just straight up blocking ability, he was handling defensive ends all day by himself. But Osa, where the hell are you on this play? Because this is your gap, buddy. That's his gap. That's his gap. He took himself out of the play and then made it difficult for everyone else to make the play because you jumped out of your gap trying to play hero ball. We pay you $80 million to be able to control your gap, not to jump out of them, right? So that's what happened on that play. If you guys want to watch it again, let's do it full speed because, I broke it down and started going slow and talking shit, right? Here we go. But this was happening here. So I don't know what Shabar James was doing in the beginning of this play. He took himself out of the play before the ball was even handed out. So I don't know why he did that. And then you see Murray's kind of late to the point of attack, 82, widened out, Fowler. But the main problem on this play was Osa. Osa jumped right out of there. He's gone. He gone. So that's a problem there. 82 was killing everybody. Yeah, he's whooping ass and taking names. All right, but yeah, but that was still mainly Osa. Even with 82 doing what he did, I don't think that play goes anywhere. If Osa could have literally fell in his gap and he would have stopped that play. Here they're holding up. Again, 50 doesn't read anything. I think he just guesses every play. Watch this. That's his gap. But why are you meeting the block there? Like the ball just got handed off. You haven't read anything. And right now you got 59, Murray, who's reading grass. So he's like, look, it's grass on both sides, left and right. But which way do I go? I can't see anything in front of me. So he guesses to the left. He's wrong. Boom. He guesses left and he's wrong. And now you have all that space, right? But before the play even starts, before they even get that far, look at the gaps. So let's watch where they move over. Right. So he moves over because he knows Murray knows that this gap here in front of him, the A gap right here in front of him, that's his gap. Right. If that's your gap, then hey, buddy, your gap is over here, James. Right. But James doesn't move. James stays there. He stays in the A gap. There's no need for both of us in the A gap. James attacks the A gap where Murray is currently. Murray now goes to flow into James's gap, which was the B gap to the left. He goes to replace him. That's why I think he scraped on this play and went that way. Right. But either way, they're both wrong. But that's what happened on that play. Is like guys are not knowing. You can see they don't know where they want to be on this play. Here, this is a 3-4 look. This is a 3-4 look for everybody likes 3-4. You can see Liufau is out here, sort of like an outside linebacker. You got 3 down linemen with their hand in the dirt, and then you got Ezraku up here, stand up outside linebacker. Then you got your plugger, who is technically Clark. I don't think Clark is a good middle line. I don't think he's a good anything, but Clark is in the game, and then 59, right? So let's just watch what's happening here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, boom. So 35. So Liufau, we want you, if a wide receiver does end up trying to pin you, I want him to fight through this block, not over this block. So you can see here, he's going to try to fight through the block. Fight over the block. If he fights through this block, meaning if he just drives this guy into the backfield just a little bit, you force him to cut inside, and then Toya and Clark, possibly Clark, will be able to help you. Clark, I don't know where he's going because this play was really, even though Liufau fights over the block and tries to get to the outside, if you fight through 64 or you cut inside here, the ball is coming to you. But we don't need you to run to the end, to the edge, and he does. Boom, overruns this play. Boom, and then Toye is lucky. I think he just steps on. He just scared the shit out of Rico, and Rico went down. But that was horrible work right there. Horrible. Now watch this. Again, tight ends, man. Tight ends can't be. It's not just 82. Now his gap is the C gap. That's Ezeraku, right? Watch where he ends up. Right behind Kenny Clark. That's not where you belong. That's not where you belong. You got to hold your ground. He didn't hold his ground at all here. He got pushed into the B gap, and now even though this is only a 1 yard gain, and that's because Donovan Wilson who took a false step as well, but Donovan Wilson's going to recover here because that tight end doesn't release and try to get to that second level. But Donovan Wilson recovers there and makes this tackle. But even when it's right, like that was a 1 yard gain. Even when it goes right, it looks wrong initially because of not only alignment, but some of the things the guys are doing. On this play, everybody crashes to the front side of the play. And then you see Houston on the backside knocking this wide receiver out of position. Then it's just Donovan back there. But this is Donovan and James that's supposed to make this play. But James has a 2 gap go because he's looking right and left of the A gap. That gap has moved, but Osa's doing a good job. You can see Osa crossbarring this guard that's trying to get to the second level or the center. I don't know who that is. But boom. So Osa's holding his guys, both that whole double team, he's holding it. James committed to the front side of the A gap, and then Donovan's now committed to the backside. And Donovan's going to come in and make this play. Boom. Good tackle by Donovan Wilson on that play. Here, boom. Let's see what's happening here. Everybody converges on the front side of this play. You got Sam Williams. That's your play to make, Sam. Sam was supposed to make that play. He hesitated. But why? Let's see. Let's see why he hesitated. Okay. This is your play to make, Sam. Oh, damn. I messed that up. Let me see where I'm at. Yep, this is Sam's play to make. So let's see. All right. Sam pushes his guy inside. Stops. He had to fix his face mask. You ain't got time to be doing that on the field, man. Just go. He fixed his face mask after that work. All right, this is Sam Williams crashing the B gap. Let's see. He's crashing. Everybody else is, he's crashing the B, and everybody else like kind of spilling over him. He crashes here. You see Murray jumps that gap as well, and then he turns and waits. All right, yeah, he turns, and then you got Wilson that cleans this up. Let's see what Rico did on this play. Yeah, I think Clowney, you got too wide on this play. Clowney didn't keep pretty good backside pursuit. He needs to close down this gap a little bit. And he fights over the if he fights over the top instead of underneath this, Clowney's here to kind of make this play. But so is James. James has an issue with change of direction. Nobody believes me, but here, right here, it takes him a little minute to get himself going again once he changes direction. I don't know if he had a knee injury or ankle injury in the past, but you can see that he has trouble with changing direction. Let's see what's happening here. But when he flows to the ball this way, though, this is pretty good. Now, this is Sam Williams making a play right here. He just reaches, he grabs him by his shoulder pad, brings him down. That was pretty good. Dante Fowler was going crazy on this one. So Dante sells out on this one. Boom. He gets trapped, but he goes over the trap. Now, watch. This is what I mean by Shamar James and Murray. They just seem late all day. Watch Shamar James. So Shamar James, like here, you're not guarding a bootleg, right? There's nothing going that way. It just takes him a while to like read and react to what's going on. Once he knows what's going on, he gets there quick, but he just takes forever to figure it out. For the most part, he's just guarding grass. And then you got Murray. Murray sees this one pretty quick, but he's just too finesse with his tackles. Murray's good at tackling wide receivers in space, but I want to see him like smack somebody, man. Too many arm tackles out of Murray. I don't like that. All right, boom. Same thing here. You see this? This is like it almost looks like the same play over again, right? It's like he did it here and he did it there. Watch this. So he does it here. Watch Shamar James. It's changing direction. Watch. Boom. Okay. Not this one. This one. Boom. Change the direction. Pretty late, kind of slow to it. Then does it again here. Watch this. Boom. He's out here. it just takes him a while to like turn and get to the ball after he figures out what's going on. And he does that. He's been doing this in multiple games. But let's see what happened in front of him on this one. Here, this is Nealand again getting beat by getting smacked up by a tight end, and this ain't even 82 this time. No, that's 82 again. No, that's not 82. That's 84. So 84 and 82 was taking turns on our ends, man. Let's watch Nealand on this play. Watch this. So watch Nealand, who's on the right of the screen. Right? Everybody's kind of holding their ground and doing what they're supposed to do. Look at him. Look at him. He gets stood up here. He's too high. The running back runs right under his armpit. Diggs makes the tackle, but Nealon gets taken out of there. Watch Nealon on this one. Watch 82. So this is you. This is just Nealon. Nealon, this is your opportunity to make a play. Watch this. Boom. He gets pushed all the way inside. Everyone else is kind of where they're supposed to be. 59, I need you to see this play and make this play. But Nealon was supposed to be there. I know the coach didn't call for you to be, mushed inside the B gap behind the rest of your guys, right? No. And then get slammed down like a little boy. Boom. Slammed on your ass by a tight end. You can't be a defensive end in this league, especially a run stopping defensive end, and get whooped by a tight end like this. This would never happen to D-Law. No matter what we say about D-Law wouldn't do this shit. Watch this, boom. It's just slammed on your ass. Come on, man. That was your play to make. Here, same thing. This is like the last play I think I looked at, but let me see. So watch Clowney gets pushed inside by, I think this is 85. He gets double teamed inside. So he's pinned, right? And now 85 comes off that and blocks Wanye. Boom. So 85 has blocked two people. Now the wide receiver is doing the same thing. He's pinning Wanye. So now, boom, that's pinned. Now they got the edge. They got where they're trying to get. And now, James has to chase and tackle this play. Does a good job of chasing it and tackling it. But, you can see what went on. Again here. It's just, he's always late. He'll get there. He'll hit you. But watch this. Boom, boom. What's he guarding? I think he thinks it's a screen pass. Maybe. Maybe he's thinking that. Now he sees that the running back has the ball. And it takes him like 4 steps. Watch how many steps it takes him to change directions. And he's not moving. So if it was like you're running full speed in one direction, I can see it takes you so long to turn. But why does it take you so long to turn and you're standing still? It took him like 4 steps to get going after that turn. It's like it should be one, put your foot in the ground and go. You don't see that. But anyway, there are, as you can see, some schematic issues when it comes to what Eberflus is calling. But at the same time, you see different pieces break down, and usually it's the edges. But that's been like that historically for the Cowboys. But you see certain pieces of the defense break down and lose its integrity as the plays go on, or as you watch each one of these plays. And I've been watching the film of these guys all week, just trying to figure out like what the hell is going on here. How y'all keep looking one way one week, and then the next week altogether different. There's new problems every week. So it's like, what's the issue? It seems to be inconsistent effort. I think that Sam Williams is more hurt than people let on. I don't think Sam Williams should be a full-time starter right now, not because he's not one of the better defensive ends in the room, because he's playing on one leg, all right? So Sam Williams, although it may be a contract year for him, this ain't going to be the year that he should get the bulk of the snaps over guys like, well, I would say Nealon, but Nealon can't be getting blocked by tight ends one-on-one and slammed all over the ground either. So I get it. But I would say Clowney and Nealon and Ezeraku and Houston, all those guys should be getting more snaps than Sam Williams at this point due to the fact that Sam Williams is hurt. Not because Sam Williams isn't who we thought he was. It's just I think he's hurt. And he can't change directions or plant on that knee. So asking him to do it, knowing that he can't, is like you're putting him at a disadvantage anyway. So, yeah, don't like that. Outside of that, can this defense be saved, or can we do anything with it? I think when we were running those 3-4 looks, we looked a lot better up front. So the person who said that we should run 3-4, I think Eberflus understands that too. He wants more bodies on the field, and he's been doing that. So hopefully they continue to do that, and we see a better outcome as a result. The other thing that we need to do in coverages is actually let our guys cover. There's a play. I don't know if I got this play or not, but there were some plays where we called plays where I'm like, hold on a second, let me see if I got it. Yep, I think I did. Oh, that's a bad one. Um, Let me see. Who's this? Oh no, this is like other teams in coverage. I wanted to see us. Hold on. I don't think I got us in coverage. Got everybody else. But I saw a couple of plays where you got Bland just covering grass. Like he's playing flats, but there's nobody released to his side. So he's just covering grass while they're completing passes on the opposite side of the field. I'm like, well, we do got a guy. We got guys that can get rid of those routes and erase those routes by those receivers that we keep getting beat on without those windows, right? They're Bland and Diggs. We had Bland and Diggs playing zone on the same side of the field. So if you can imagine Diggs running up the field this way and Bland running to the flat underneath that. So Diggs is playing thirds, Bland is playing the flat. You got both your best corners covering space and grass and covering really nobody because nobody released to that side. So once they realized it was zone, they just released the receiver, to distract Diggs deep, but it really wasn't anything special. And Bland is just covering grass underneath where nobody is, or covering running backs when they get released as like check down. That's why you keep seeing Bland make tackles near the line of scrimmage. Like, why are you have him there? Let him cover. I don't understand what the philosophy is here, but both of those guys are your best coverage guys. You're not, at least whoever they're covering should not be beating you consistently. Not like they're not going to get a first down or two, a dig route here and there, a slant here and there. That's going to happen because that's how quarterbacks set guys up for double moves anyway. So they're going to get a couple of those on them. But I guarantee you, if you put them in man coverage and you have it where between Diggs and Bland, they're both collectively getting, and I say collectively, meaning split these targets however you want, but collectively they're getting 16 to 20 targets at them per game. I would take that all day. And if most of those targets are in man coverage, I would take that gamble all day because I would say eventually Bland or Diggs, if you're throwing that many balls per game at them, they're going to get you every game. I would let them do that. And then everyone else does what we do. You know what I mean? But I can speak till my face turn blue on that. I don't think anybody's listening, but I just wanted to look and see what was going on versus the run. Let me read what some of you guys are saying, and then we can get it popping. Hold on, I read that. So said, "What up, Akoye? Been a while. I think I started there." Said, "Oh man, I missed this quality film stuff. Been way too long. Oh, I don't know where you've been at, man. I've been on it all this season." He said, "Damn, yeah, that number 82 cleaned that area out. He kept doing it, man." He said 82 is what we wanted school Shun to be. Yeah, Shun. That is what we wanted him to be. You're right. Devin Overton, what's up? He said 82 Clowners looked like he was an all-pro lineman against us. Facts. I also think that we're too eager to get rid of. Eager to get to Rico and didn't play discipline. That's a fact. Everybody was overly aggressive in this game, but again, it shouldn't take that long for you to realize that you need to settle down, and that's what leaders on the field are supposed to do. Guys like Kenny Clark and Solomon Thomas and Osa, you guys are supposed to be the ones that understand. Hey, they try to get us to play over aggressive. I need y'all to settle in, stay in your gap, do what you're supposed to do. And now maybe they're saying these things and they're just not doing it. I don't know, but I don't see it. He said, "Bro, we used to move bodies like that in the old days for Emmett. We doing it this year. We moving them for JW right now." He said, "Why are so many players playing undisciplined on defense? You learn about your gap and responsibilities in high school. How many years do we have to deal with this?" Yeah, the dumb players do dumb things, man. It's like, and then coaches, you should make it very simple for these players. I think we should simplify this defense in such a way where it's automatically where you're supposed to be. I don't know how this is. I don't know how this is hard. Is it a lack of IQ or talent that shows up every Sunday? A little bit of both. I think they got talent, but if you have all the talent in the world and don't know what to do with it, how good is your talent? And if you have all the IQ in the world but can't execute it, like LVE knew where to be. He knew what every play was. He was a pretty smart player, but he couldn't do anything about it. You know what I mean? So you need synergy. You need a combination of both, and that's what we're not getting. Smart physical football. We're getting either smart football without the physicality, Are we getting physical football without the smarts? That's what we see each week. It flip flops one way or the other. Yeah, so your guess is as good as mine. Montgomery and DC Blue. You're 100% right. This is not about. I mean, this is about not staying in the gaps. How are they coach, or how are the coaches not addressing this? I think that's what you mean. It's chronic. Wow. Yeah, Mike, it is. Sam getting blocked by a tight end. Sam needs to sit down a little bit though, but I don't know. Maybe Sam can play better against other teams, but the tight ends on Carolina all can block. They was handing it to us 85, 84, and 82, but mainly 82 by himself. 82 was driving guys back. Crazy. He said, I mean, standing your gap is like half the battle in football. It's basic. Yeah, but these guys are all trying to make crazy plays. He said, all trash, nothing to be saved on this defense. I can't even argue with you, man. When you got every player that I named regressing or not looking like themselves, then it does speak to coaching. And I still do think it's a problem with coaching and their confidence in regards to what he's calling. But the coach has called plays like he did in this game that were setting these guys up for success, and they weren't executing. But it's still coaching. Because I really believe that coaching and laziness there, nobody making these guys scared to mess up. Johnson would have cut half these guys and put somebody else in. That I agree with. You got guys like Dono who could screw up every week, and he's gonna still have a job. But it doesn't make it very good on me or people who are arguing for Wanye when you get in and you start missing tackles that are setting you up for success, right? You got to make the plays now that people have screamed for you to get in. You got to make those plays. I screamed for Marist Liufau. He misses some tackles too. So it's like, yo, you guys got to make the plays once your number's called. He said nobody on that field has any fear of failure. Oh, yes, they do. The corners. Because that's where the corners and Mozzie are afraid to fail. Mozzie doesn't do shit because he getting benched as soon as he does anything. And the corners as well. They've been benched and been shuffled around based off of Elam, I think, is a likes. Diggs is not. It's because Diggs probably talks too much. But you can see Diggs playing 15 yards off the ball, kind of like playing too soft, not his normal aggressive self. And I think because he got so much hell after the Chicago game and then got benched after the Chicago game, that he doesn't want to make any mistakes now because his coach doesn't own the mistakes. He passes them off. He passes those things off to the players. I think he's a guy that lacks accountability at times because when you look at the way they're playing like they know the moment they make a mistake, they're going to sit on their ass. They're going to get put down. So I see Bland doing that. Bland's never been that guy. And I see Diggs doing that. But somehow Donovan Wilson has immunity. How? I don't get it. If this was Jimmy Johnson, he wouldn't tolerate this for more than a half, let alone string of games. Yeah, that's a fact. He said Diggs sticks his nose in and makes this tackle. Yeah, he did. That Sam Williams description sounded a lot like Jalen Smith. Yep, Jalen Smith was in that position before too, where he wouldn't plant his foot. He said, and I was a Jalen fan. Yeah, but that was what was wrong with Jalen too. When someone engaged with him, he didn't have the strength in that leg to turn, plant, and get off of the block. He had to kind of leave his leg hanging up in the air a little bit. And that's you playing one-footed. He said, James is always late. Tell that to the people who keep saying that he's our savior. He's late. Why we always in the wrong spots on and sides? Yeah, I don't know. He said our linebackers just late. Put Marist over James. Play Sanborn on rundowns. Yep. Sanborn comes back. I think the run game will get fixed a little bit. These bozos aren't tackling either. That ain't scheme. Yeah, that's a fact. As always, Akoye, folks never be listening. What's up, Sadiq? I like your new avatar. That look cool. What's up, Nick? He said, "What up? Caught you on live. Bet Bandit for life. What's up, man?" Uh, let me see. Rich Lloyd says they miss dogs in that locker room like Tank. Tank was a dog, but he's a dumb dog. Yeah, I like Tank too, but Tank would do a lot of dumb stuff on the edge that would take himself out of plays, like you saw Sam Williams doing this entire game, crashing the B gap the whole game, which is okay if the coach is calling that, right? But when you're trying to contain a quarterback, you don't crash inside, and the angles that you take have to be wide to keep everything inside. If you don't understand that and you're a player And I know you've schemed and you watched and you studied and they told you what your assignments are, and you still don't get it. I don't know what to tell you. Do you think we need better players or is it just a scheme? Well, again, I said better players are players that we thought were good last year are not good this year. So that's the coaching scheme for sure. You can't, well, the corners, right? You can't tell me you just signed Bland and you have Diggs who you signed the year before and they look kind of like the worst unit on the team because they're giving up the big plays are happening to receivers and tight ends up the field, right downfield. So your corners, your secondary, which was your strength coming into the season, when we take those two guys and you pick Kyer Elam, who's a first round draft pick, you put him on this team. You had Booth in training camp, who was a second round draft pick. When you look at that group, and then you say, "Oh, hey, Siobhan Rebel's coming," you got Carson who's coming back. You like, oh shit, we got some talent in the secondary room. Then you got Donovan Wilson, who has been okay for us in the past. You got Hooker, and then behind that, you got Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas. I would say our secondary sounded like it was pretty good. Even Reddy Stewart's, I like Reddy Stewart too. So it's like your secondary seems like they're supposed to be good, but your secondary is giving up a lot of yards, and quarterbacks are getting 100, averaging 116 QB rating against this secondary. It ain't because the corners can't cover, because you got them covering space and grass and not men. So that's a problem. So, but that's not the players. That's the coaches right there, right? Um, but there are issues with the players as well. Like Donovan Wilson doesn't fit this scheme, so he's a player that is a liability. Anytime you have him too high, it's a problem. They're going to attack him every time. It don't matter where you put him; they're going to attack Donovan Wilson. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of both, man. You got players and scheme that are an issue. I think a lot of guys were experimental, especially based on just signing 1 year deals. I mean, that's Jerry for you. He's been doing that for the last I don't even know how many years. He hires a bunch of mercenaries. They have no leader. That's the problem. Who's the leader, Okoye? I don't know. Yeah, like you said, Shotty. Okoye, I have a question, please. How do you feel about Eric Kendricks? Was back if he was back? Oh yeah, I would like that. Yep, if he comes back, it shores up the linebacker room right now. Yeah, I like that idea if we could do it. I don't know if Jerry would do it because he was also a Zimmer guy, and you know how Eberflus is about Zimmer. He must not like Zimmer. He don't like none of the guys that Zimmer liked. Wanye, he don't like him. Marist, don't like him. Even Mozzie, who was getting better under Zimmer, he don't like him. He don't like nobody that Zimmer was okay with last year. He don't like none of that. He act like it didn't exist. I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing. I don't even understand what he's doing, even with the Mozzie thing. Like, look, either trade him or let the guy play so that we can see what he has. He's not going to get better sitting on the bench. He's not. So either let him get his reps so he can at least look like he looked last year, or get rid of the guy. I don't know what they're doing there, but to keep pulling him in and out, you just now destroying his confidence, and he's not going to be good at all. Then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, oh, I told you. Well, what do you expect if you got 3 different coaching regimes? He started playing better last year, and then this year you act like that didn't even happen, and they keep putting this guy Jay Toya, who is like Swiss cheese, in front of him. Jay Toya keeps getting run on, like yards, yards. You know what I mean? It's a mixture for sure. The scheme doesn't help, but neither does the bad effort and lack of discipline. That's a fact. Let's see. Never appreciated when he was here. J. Lou, yeah, J. Lou. We needed him back. We got 2-3 techs in the middle with small linebackers. Same issues, different year. I miss Hankins. Yeah, we miss a lot of players, man. Defensive tackles, linebackers, and safeties, we don't put a premium on. Facts. Salute Okoye, Southwest Philly in the building. Philly in the building. Um, I don't think we put enough emphasis on ones, yeah, on noses. We need nose guards or one techs. We don't. I think Zimmer was right about that. But when you got guys on the edge getting pushed out of there by wide receivers and tight ends, that is a problem. It don't matter who you put in the middle of the field if you're gonna keep doing that. I just don't get it. Eberflus gets 2 good man corners and a box safety and run mainly zone and put the box safety over the roof. Ain't that something? That's like amazing to me too. Like, yo, you can solve this problem real easy, man. Let your man cover quarters, cover men, and let your safety drop down into the box, whether you run and play cover 3 or cover 1. Let him come down near the line of scrimmage, help out the run game, and smack guys coming across the middle of the field. That's all you know how to do anyway. So that's what you do with Dono. You don't tell him to cover wide receivers. And then when they ask him questions, he don't say, yeah, we see some of that. We want to put him in position to be successful. He says, I think Donovan Wilson's a good player. He could do a little bit of everything. No, he can't. No, he can't. Stop lying. And when you say a little bit of everything, you mean he could do very little versus the pass, like in space. I feel like Blue getting here shut up ass runs, huh? I feel like Blue getting here shut up ass runs. I don't know what you mean. Oh, he's getting shut up ass runs? You mean like they're just giving him runs to run into nothingness? I don't know. He said Jay is trash. Yeah, I mean, I think so. He put up a post on Instagram of him sitting on a bench with a Dallas helmet on and cleats. Yeah, I saw that. I hope he does come back. That was smart if he's trying to get back by doing that. We have small players on the line. No, we don't. We have Osa who's too small. Everybody else is not small. They just not balling. But everybody on the line is okay. We got a good size line. We need more guys like Winfrey. We need Winfrey back. We need more guys that are 300 pounds plus. I will agree. But you got one of them who's a first round talent who you keep benching. Everybody keeps saying, "Well, what Mozzie going to do?" I don't know, but I want to see it. I do want to see what he does. Let him screw up because it ain't like you putting guys in that's doing the job. If you only got that standard for him, then I feel like you picking. It's picking. You playing favorites because you're not yanking these other guys out and they getting run on. Osa getting run on all day. Why he not getting benched for Jay Tuia? Why isn't it, hey, well, Osa going to get benched this week. It's going to be Jay Tuia, Mozzie, and Kenny Clark because we want bigger bodies in there. You don't see that happening. Solomon Thomas, you get run over. Are they like, is he getting benched? No. Nope. Ezeraku and Sam Williams getting run over. Are they getting benched? No. But you see but James Houston is benched. He'll get benched for missing a run fit here or there. Why? The rest of them ain't doing shit. So I don't understand what the rhyme or reason for the moves they make are. Even when you say Marist Liufau, that's the biggest one. I did this yesterday. Let me show y'all real quick while we on here. I'm like, yo, how the hell? Come on, man. Come on, money. Come on, money. Oh no, this the whole joint. Hold on, I'm gonna remove this one. My bad. Yeah, here we go. Hold up. Remove this for you. Look at this guy. Like, so I can literally go back to the games and look at what Marist was doing for you that would make you want to play him. Like he plays like his hair is on fire. That's why his hair on fire right here. Watch it. Here's Van Ness. Boom. Knocks him like 5 yards off his course. Makes it easy for 89 to finish his block. Right. So he's vicious right there. Then he's first man downfield. He gets all the way up the field. Well, he ain't the first one down there, but he's first to the ball. Right there, a little spin. Boom. This set the tone for this entire game. After this play, the Cowboys look like, okay, we know we can compete with Green Bay. We ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Right? Right here, same thing. Ezeraku, he going to give Ezeraku a lane by throwing the tight end in the backfield right here. Boom. Tossed his ass. Now Ezeraku can come make this play. He missed the tackle. I don't like this from Morris. Like you do got to finish better when you get in the game because that's why we putting you in there. But still, how do you see this as a coach and say this guy gonna get less snaps? Now look, that was the game before this game, right? In this game right here, Shamar James, after Sanborn got hurt, Shamar James got more snaps than Marist Liufau in the Jets game. He got more snaps than Liufau. I can understand you being mad at him this game because he may have been the reason you lost the Packers game for that late hit against 23. I give you that. But there's no way you could tell me that Shamar James is better at anything linebacker than Marist Liufau. He's not. Morris stands as a guard up right there and makes the tackle. Boom. Beautiful shit. Sanborn goes out shortly after this, but while he was in there, Marist Liufau got 22 less snaps than Shamar James. 22 less snaps than Shamar James, but made more plays in the same game. Doesn't make any sense. Right here, watch this. Watch this. Always going for the ball. This guy here, just put him on the field. You're going to play better because he gets more opportunities to do shit like this in space. He punches at the ball almost every time I see him. That's all he's doing. Here, he blitzes off the edge. Boom. This is in the Jets game. He blitzes off the edge. He gets in the face of Fields and breaks this up. And then Murray is there for coverage, but he has nowhere to go with this ball. And Liufau's in his face. Boom, breaks that play up. That was I think a 3rd and 3. Got us off the field there. We got off the field there. Boom. Here, I think this is the fumble. Yeah, this is the forced fumble. So you got him setting edges there. So he's just setting the edge. When you watch what Murray and James are doing here, just chasing the play, don't even know what they're looking at. James tries to go outside. He picks a side on this. So you see this guard 56. Watch 56 right in front. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but 56 is right in front of you, right? And then you have Murray who's already in his gap. So Murray's in his right gap. James is in his gap currently. Watch how he jumps out of there. Instead of going, he's supposed to get over the top of this. Instead of getting over the top of this, he jumps around it. Why'd you do that? You're not even that fast. But he does that and is chasing this play as a result. Boom. Murray misses the arm tackle because he tackles like a girl, right? And then here, boom, Marist Liufau. Changed this entire game. We won this game. We win games because of Marist Liufau. We were competitive in the Packers game because of Marist Liufau. And we won this game because of Marist Liufau. So everybody that was happy after the Jets game thinking that the Cowboys are back, like Mortimer, we are back. Everybody was thinking that. We was only back because of the play of Marist Liufau. What do we reward that with? Another game where he gets less snaps than Shamar James. And in this game, he got about 20 less snaps as well. Shamar James got 68 snaps, I think, 70 snaps, and he got 50. And that's including special teams. So he actually got really like 40-something snaps to Shamar. So he got 20 less snaps in this game. But he's the only one with a tackle for no gain and the only one with a sack. So this is a sack right here. Boom. You put him in the game, good things happen. This is a sack here. This is a 3-4 front too. So you guys who were saying we need to run 3-4, this is similar to 3-4 right here, or you could call it 4-3 over, whatever you want to call it. But look here. So you got 3 down linemen in the middle. You got a stand-up guy that's Clowney over here. You got another stand-up linebacker on this side, and Marist Liufau. This is a 3-4 front. He's blitzing off the edge here. Boom. Gets himself a sack. Gets himself a sack. Look at this. When you put him in the game, good shit happens. Why would you put him in less than? There's nothing you could tell me that he's done less than Shamar James. Watch this. Now, how he closes, watch how he closes. He's always tackling the football. Watch his hand, watch this. That's all he does is tackle the football. If you put him in the game more, automatically you win more games because of the way he plays. This is the only run play that was for no gain. And it's because he ran through those same tight ends that was whooping everybody's ass. Marist Liufau run right through him. He ran right through, what is this, 82? He runs right through 82. Only person I've seen do it. 82 been fucking cooking defensive ends all game, right? Y'all just watched that earlier in the film. Watch what he do to 82. Get the fuck up off me. Boom. Get through there, make the tackle. So the 2 tackles that were behind the line of scrimmage were Marist Liufau, a sack, and that one, which was for no gain. How that equates to I get less playing time than Shamar James, I don't know. I don't know why they keep looking at Morris like he not that. But the fact that they do it lets me know that y'all not interested in the meritocracy. He is too hype. We do got to settle down, but he's a playmaker. Let him play. Eberflus is the problem. The scheme isn't working. It's been 6 weeks, and they are getting pushed around like it's preseason. Yeah, they don't look like they know what they're doing. I'll give you that. Maybe they play small. Brian said they flipped it on us, doubled Osa and blocked Clark 1-versus-1. They did some of that, but they both were getting double teamed, both Clark and Osa. And they do, everyone doubles Osa and to get him, out of there. That happens all the time because you wear him down. Osa would be a beast on the edge. Osa would be a beast in 3-4, yeah. If you play 3-4, Osa will be fine because he's playing 4-tech. Let Osa beat up on guards and tackles instead of having to deal with guards and centers double teaming them. Let him deal with the tackles. He'll give tackles fits. Plus, he'll make it so that those guys on the edge don't have to deal with a full blocker. They'll be playing half a man or to force coaches to keep 2 tight ends in there to make sure you have coverage to be able to block those edges. So either way, it makes them. It changes the personnel package if you let Osa play 3-4. Your boss puts you at the right spot. If not, then the boss is at fault. Yeah. Well, you put him in the right spot sometime. In this defense, anybody should get a chance to play. Yeah, everybody can get it. Iceberg Q, what's up, man? Ain't seen you in a minute. Marist got to clean up that 33% missed tackle rate. That's his problem. Yep, you're right. If he start making those tackles, he could be in the game. He missed too many tackles. The coach say we need more turnovers, but yet he takes off the one guy who gets turnovers. That's facts. Morris is only going to get better with reps. He ain't going to get better sitting on the bench. 35 said he practicing punch outs all the time. Yeah, he does. But at the end of the day, if you don't value that, like you said, he is everything you say you want in a defensive player. They want a smart, physical football team. He's a smart, physical player who sets the tone for everybody else out there. I think everybody else gets more physical every time Morris turns up. He said pissing people off in the facility. Oh, he must be. He pissing them off because he punched everything. Yeah. Said if I see you with a ball, I'm punching it out. That's all he do. That's what's up. Listen to how long the defense is on the field. 150 snaps. Damn, 150 snaps. He says, "See, so we are our own enemy." Yeah, that's for sure. Let me see what else you're talking about. Big or paragraph type questions. Eberflus scheme been outdated for a while. I don't know how he's still even in the league with that outdated defense. Everybody keep talking about how outdated it is. Eberflus was 32nd ranked in Chicago his first year there. His second year in Chicago, they jumped to a top 10 defense. So Eberflus knows how to scheme defense. He might not have all the players he wants here. I will give him that. And they might not be buying into everything that he's asking. I'll give them that. But I don't think he's like slow. I don't think Eberflus forgot how to coach. He knows how to coach. He just might not be reaching these guys because they're not his guys. You know, they're not. But his guys, the guys that he's electing this year that he likes, are not better than the guys that he's overlooking. Like you overlooking Morris for Shamar James. He's not better than Marist. You're overlooking Mozzie, who you can say Mozzie needs to do more, but you're overlooking him for Toia. Toia not better than Mozzie. So if you don't like Mozzie for what he's doing, you can't go give me Toia. If you don't like Mozzie and you give me Winfrey, or you giving me somebody like Chauncey, or somebody like who's in there like Solomon Thomas, okay, I'll take that. If you want to do that, and you say we just like their effort better, okay, I'll give you that. But you can't give me Toia to say it's because he's better than my. He's not. He's not right now. No one is afraid of anyone on our defense. There is no one you have the scheme for. True. Yeah, that's true. All right, let me see what else we got. What up, Akoye? How you doing, brother? Good seeing you. I just don't get why Eberflus just won't play 3-4 defense, knowing that a 3-4 can get this defense going because we can clearly see it, brother. No. Okay, hold on a second. He said, "Yeah, you can fuck up, but fuck up going 100 miles an hour." Let me show you what I'm talking about because you just asked a question that really we've done. I'm gonna show you. Let's show you some fronts. Let's get to some fronts. I'm gonna get to some fronts for you guys. Pre-snap. Let me see. Pre-snap. Pre-snap. What's this? Not that one. Maybe it's this one. Nope. Here. Here. Let's see. Here. Watch this. Okay. Pre-snap. What is this, fella? Who's that asked me that? That was Antron Hemingway. You didn't see the beginning of this video, most likely. So let me go back over it. This is 3-4. We running some 3-4. So you got a safety in the box. That's Donald Wilson over to the right. You got Ezeraku, who's playing coverage on 85 to the left. You got Clowney to the right over that tight end, number 84. And then you got 3 down linemen. They all right there. This is a 3-4 right here. You got your plugger, who is I think that's Shamar James, your plugger. You got your middle linebacker right there. That is what's his face? Murray, right? That's 3-4. We ran some 3-4. Right here, Donovan Wilson needs to make this happen. He needs to stay outside. He needs to attack the outside shoulder of just look at what happens if he attacks the outside shoulder of Rico. right? If he attacked the outside shoulder, Clowney would get a sack here. Because watch the pocket in front of him. You see Clowney start to break free right there? If Donovan Wilson is outside instead of crashing inside like he did here, this is a sack because there's nowhere to go and there's nowhere to go with the ball. Clowney would have been getting off this block, but he would have had a bottleneck because Donovan would have been containing out here where Young is going, and Clowney would get a sack, and then we wouldn't be saying we don't have a pass rush. Nobody has a pass rush if everybody is playing undisciplined ball because again, the coverage is going to get you a coverage sack here. You can see as Araku's clever in 85, and Murray's doing his job right there, right? Which is the only reason Murray is even still on the field is because he can cover, and he's doing that here, right? Boom, get yourself a sack. But Dono being so aggressive fucks this play up. And now watch Sam Williams. Watch Sam Williams running. He running that straight leg. He don't want to stop. Like his legs is fucked up. Here, this is 3-4, fellas and lady. This is 3-4. Look right there, boom. There's 3-4 right there. They are playing 3-4. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They playing some 3-4. We just got to do it more. And I think right here on a play like this, instead of having Sam Williams in here at the 4 tech over here, because Sam's gonna get pushed out of there. But instead of having Sam Williams there, this is where you put a guy like Osa, right? Put Osa over there or Neeland, someone like that. Put them all on the field at the same time. Stop giving me a bunch of Sam Williams because he's just not ready yet. Sam Williams gets pushed out of there, and then they're going to trap Ezaraku in this play. Ezaraku meets that trap close enough, but like I said, 82 was handing out that work, man. He's smacking every defensive end on our team met 82 this game, and they learned from it. Look at that. He smacked Ezaraku back a few steps, and then Shamar James actually going to do a good job of clearing his block, though. But Ezaraku felt that. He's like, oh no. Again, what are we in? This is 4-3, though, right here. 4-3 over. You could say this is 4-3 over, yeah, because of where you see Marist. This is 4-3 over. This one actually going to work. But watch what 82 do to Marist, too. Watch this. Don't nobody really even block Marist like that. Watch what 82 do to Marist. He do this to everybody. He going to take Baneman all the way over there. 82 was doing this to everybody. You can't really say much about it. That says more about who he is than who these guys aren't. I pointed out this play. This isn't like a 3-4 play. I want you guys to see some more 3-4 looks. But you can see Osa's out of position. I think Osa should be playing again like a 3-4 defensive end for us. I think we'll get more of that. Like this is 3-4 right here. See this? This is 3-4. Morris is just playing outside linebacker here, and you see Ezaraku here, outside linebacker, 3 down lineman. But again, we keep going small right here because you see Toye is playing 0. You got Kenny Clark playing 4 tech, but then you got Sam Williams over here 4 teching. I think Sam Williams should be replaced in this scheme by on this particular play anyway. But this would make Osa's job easier. So you want to put, but Osa's been jumping out of the gaps that are assigned to him. So I think that's why he's not on the field. But you see that Sam Williams crashed the B gap and just went upfield, gets pinned, boom. Marist, I want Marist to fight through this block, and I want Clark to cut downfield instead of over. Clark plays parallel to the line. He runs parallel instead of getting downhill. So watch Clark. Clark just goes over. Like why don't you just get downfield and go attack the football? But he's scared of this blocker, so he doesn't even bother trying to shed it. He just tries to run around him. Like, I don't even want to say gay because I think that would be disrespectful to gay people. I don't think all gay people aren't tough. I think he just plays soft as hell. He do. Clark is soft, man. Boom. So you got pushed inside by a tight end. But this one, Donovan Wilson's going to come and make this play. Boom. But yeah, I wanted y'all to see that they did run some 3-4 fronts unless they were in nickel. We got a lot of 3-4 this game, and I want to continue to see that. So you're right about us needing to run 3-4, but they were doing it. You know what I mean? That's really the truth. Let me see what else you were saying. What else y'all was saying? Yeah, Overshawn and Marist are tone setters on defense now. We will be better once we get them starting. Yep. Ezaraku's our outside linebacker in 3-4. He is. Yeah. We playing multiple fronts. It don't matter if the scheme don't fit the players and the players don't believe in it. That's a fact. 3-4 is their best front though. versus the run. And sometimes it's just terrible play call too. Sometimes I pointed out a couple of those. What we have on defense is what we call a clusterfuck. Yo, uh, let's go. That scheme is just not it. He couldn't even scheme up at a couple of plays to get off the field, and that's all they need was just a couple of good stops, which would have won the Green Bay game and Carolina game. Well, he called a great play on 3rd and 7 versus the Green Bay Packers, right? And what did Marist Liufau do? Who I am campaigning to get on the field. I can't lie and say he didn't lose that game for us. It was 3rd and 7. It was 2nd and 7. Or it was 2nd and 7. And then they threw an incomplete pass, and Marist blew number 23 up, and they got a first down off of it. But it would have been 3rd and 7 after that play, and we had an opportunity to get them off the field. He forces a 4th and 4 in the Carolina game. Well, you get them a 4th down, but Bland backs up like I don't know why Bland backed so far off the ball, and he did take Kenneth Murray too far away from that play, which I didn't understand. That was true. So you could say he had a problem there. And he didn't blitz but 5 times. You only blitz those guys 5 times. Start blitzing more. Be more aggressive. Like you said, you want to mess up going 105 miles an hour and create some chaos. If they're catching you in bad looks because you're playing Rex Ryan type ball, I'm okay with that now because they sucking anyway. Just go after it. Play man, go zero coverage, and go kill the quarterback over and over and over again. And then you're going to get beat a couple times, but you got the corners to hold up. And eventually the quarterbacks are running for their lives, especially if they're not mobile. You're going to kill them. But start blitzing and then show those same looks after you have them scared. He'll show looks that look like he's blitzing, but he only blitzed 5 times a game. So anybody's scared of you mugging in line of scrimmage. You're not confusing the blocking schemes. It's like they're not coming. They don't believe you anyway. Make them believe you by blitzing early and often. And then when you crowd the line of scrimmage, you can play coverage and you'll still get more pressure because they will be scared that you might actually be blitzing in those looks. And then you got time to get under those routes because they're scared and they're changing their scheme based off and their plays based off of what you look like you may be doing. But you got to set it up first. I got to let you think that I'm really doing it. I got to sell it. He's not selling it because he don't do it. You blitzed 5 times in the Carolina game. That's it. 5. Do you think the pistol formation is giving them problems? It's no formation, is nothing that's consistently giving them problems other than themselves. Effort. And he said, I had hoped Eberflus would help Clark. Didn't work out that way. Clark can't be helped because he's soft, but it's effort and it's just mentality. Clark is one of those guys who he's a smart player. He's physical. I mean, he's fast, athletic, but he's not physical because of that neck. He ain't never gonna be physical because he knows, hey, my career is over the moment I start really tackling. He can feel it. Just like LV. LV knew the moment I started hitting something, I'm done. And when he started hitting, he was done. Every time LV had a good tackle, he sat his ass on the bench because my collarbone. Because the running back is lined up behind the quarterback. I don't think the pistol was the problem. Sam Williams was getting blocked by a wide receiver. No, he wasn't. See, that right there, this is where I got a problem with a lot of the content creators who be co-signing this shit. Like, no, he didn't. Let me show you what happened. All right. Let me show at least that because I ain't gonna let this is the play right here. Okay. All right. So Sam Williams, what's his first step? His first step is inside. He's not getting pushed inside by the receiver. He didn't get pushed across the field by the receiver. He wants to go that way. Why? Because that is what the design was. Like everyone else is crashing towards Sam. Sam's job is to create chaos, crashing the B gap here, which he does. But once he gets into the B gap, right, he wants to turn and go. Now this he couldn't do. Why? Because of his knee. But he was crashing the B gap anyway. The wide receiver didn't push him there. He just can't turn around now. So the reason he's here is not because a wide receiver blocked him there. He can't turn around because he's on a bum knee. He only can go one direction. He can't cut. So he can't plant his foot and cut. That wide receiver did not push him over there. He ran over there and then couldn't turn around. So to make it seem like they made it seem like he got pushed off the screen by a wide receiver. That's why he laughed, because he like, if I got to explain that to y'all, what the hell? Why y'all even watching football? What are we talking about? Not even you. I'm not coming at you. I'm talking about this is what he's saying. So people would keep criticizing him. Like he He won't even take it down. He's laughing. He's laughing because he's like, what the fuck you want me to say? Y'all think I really got blocked out of there by a receiver? Then what do you want me to say? He didn't on that play. He got blocked by tight end, though. He's getting whooped by the tight ends. But the wide receiver did not block Sam Williams all the way over there, man. He ran over there. Like, if I run this way and you get behind me and stand behind me, you ain't blocked me nowhere. I did that myself. I took myself this way. Now, if he was trying to stay outside and got blocked inside and driven back over it, then he got blocked by a wide receiver because his job was to stay in the C gap. It wasn't. He was crashing the B gap anyway, so he's crashing in there anyway. All the wide receiver did was, like a bull in a matador. I'm just going to Olay and keep him over there, and then once he's there, I'm going to seal him. But he wasn't getting back into that play once he crashed the B gap, no matter what, because he can't turn and cut. So he wasn't getting back into that play, whether it was a receiver there or not. Wasn't happening. Another thing I don't like is how the Cowboys drafted injured players. I hate that too. I wonder if or wonder of what we could have gotten in the third round instead of getting someone who was injured. You talking about Sam Williams or who was injured? Jalen, Sam. You got a first round injury. We drafted LVE in the first round. Where was he ever a first round talent? I don't get what they was doing with that one. That was crazy. He would have been a 7th round draft pick. I'd have been like, okay, still a bad experiment. Conley, a clear pick play, but Donovan ran into the same gap. Yep. Flus maybe needs to go to the box and get further view if of how terrible his defense is. Maybe he do need to back up, but yeah, I don't know. He said that's why he laughed. Yeah, he laughed because he like, yo, what you want me to say? Like, I didn't get pushed all the way across the screen by a wide receiver. Like, that didn't happen. But that they took a picture of where he ended up and said he got pushed over there. He did not. Like, did not happen. And I'm not defending him because I care. If he did get pushed over there, I'd say, yeah, he got pushed. He didn't though. So that's all. Tell him to watch the game and he jumped off the screen for the wrong reason. His jersey sales are down. What are you talking about? I don't know which one. What are you talking about? Maybe Sam Williams, I guess. He said, don't Revel play this Sunday? I hope so, Angie. I mean, that would be good. Carson, they said, might play. Carson, I think people forgot Carson was okay. Carson got destroyed last year, but Carson is a good player as well. He said, yes, Sam. Sam is off of an ACL injury, man. What do y'all expect his first year back? What y'all want him to do? Tear his knee again? Trying to appease you? He shouldn't be playing as much as he's playing. I'll give you that. He should be behind Houston. He should be behind Ezraku. He should be behind Nealon. And he should be behind, who's the other guy? Clowney. Those 4 should be ahead of Sam. But Sam definitely should be able to play. I think he can stunt. He could do some good things for you. And honestly, a lot of the scrambles against the Eagles, a lot of the scrambles against the Jets, the Giants, and last week against Young were erased by Sam Williams' ability to run in a straight line and use that 4-5 speed to cut those quarterbacks off. He is doing that. But the reason he's not getting sacks and he doesn't look like he can pass rush is because he got to stunt him in order for him to pass rush. He can't just whoop a guy with one leg. He's not gonna whoop you, but he can run in this. He can stunt. He can run some games and beat you, or he can get you some hustle plays. But he's not gonna beat those guys consistently on the edge because of his legs. So I don't get why I will say personnel wise is a problem, but I don't think Sam is. I think Sam is actually helping us out this year. And the reason I say that is not because of his play. Well, yeah, it is because of his play, but not because it's good play. The fact that he's putting up average play right now and he's not going to look great, when we go to re-sign Sam, who will be healed next year, we would have got him for a discount. And then he'll look like he's supposed to look because Sam Williams didn't just fall off a cliff. Y'all act like y'all be forgetting. This is not Madden. Sam Williams was playing ball and balling until he hurt his other knee. And this is his second ACL tear. He tore the other one in college. So now he's on 2 bum knees. Navarro Bowman was one of those guys. We got Overshawn, who's one of those guys. Y'all think Overshawn is going to come back and he's a freak, but most guys can't come back off a knee injury like that. Overshawn's coming back off of 2 back-to-back ACL tears. I was surprised he came back last year and played the way he played. But this year, I don't know if he could do that twice. Maybe they on peptides or BPC, that Wolverine serum, BPC 157, if you ever heard of it. Maybe they on that type shit. I don't know, but he healed fast as hell. He need to give whatever he eating to Sam Williams and the rest of these guys. But I'm not mad at Sam Williams, man. He's not right now. If he was healthy playing this way, well, I'd be on his ass. But Sam Williams is not right. So to keep coming at him like y'all don't know that, it don't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep coming at him like y'all don't know he ain't right. You know, it don't. Why y'all doing that? I don't know. Yeah. What do you expect of him? I don't know why the coaches expect more of him because he's not healed. Not healed. Well, he don't need to be out there like that if he's so hurt. I agree with you there. I said that already. But when I see him out there, I'm like, all right, I know what I'm about to get, and I hope he work himself back into some sort of shape this season. But yeah, he not right. Facts. Javante took a year to come back fully as far as his production from his injury too. Yeah, and Denver said he wasn't it, but we was like, "Oh, we got Javante." I'm like, if he's a year removed from that, and he can get me some of what he was giving us when he played us in Denver. Oh, I like Javante before the season started, and I heard everybody saying we need a real running back. I'm like, we got one in Javante, and then Mafa behind that and Hunter. I think we can run power all day if we want to. Nobody want to tackle those three guys, and then you put Blue in there to change the pace. But I'll be running at you with those guys. Just run through guys' face. I don't care if it's 1 yard here and there. I don't care because you still feel that. You feel it. You feel a 1 yard run. Matter of fact, even when they made a tackle for a loss, I think a tackle for 2 yards, Wanye Thomas made a tackle for 2 yards. Watch this play. You telling me they don't feel this? Watch this. I'm gonna show you what they feel. Watch this. Boom. Put this back up. You feel these. Hold on, let me show you. You feel these. Not this one. Not this one. Where you at, Wanye? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? This one right here. Watch this. So watch Clark on this play. Let's watch Clark. Kenny Clark. Or is it Kenny Clark first? No, I think it's Solomon Thomas. Let me see. Watch Solomon Thomas on this play. All right, watch. No, it's Kenny Clark. Watch Kenny Clark. My bad. This is only on a 2 yard play, right? But you telling me these don't hurt? He felt this. Kenny Clark feels this right now, today. So 64 is kind of standing him up. Watch what Solomon Thomas does to 60. So Solomon Thomas is going to get rid of 60 right there, trying to get off that double team, right? Watch Kenny Clark's leg. You see that leg right there? Boom. So I pay attention to things that y'all not paying attention to. And then I say, okay, well, how did that affect the rest of his game for the rest of the day? Because this is what happened to Kenny Clark in this game. Hurt the hell out of his leg, but he still fought through it, right? And then watch what Sam Williams does on top of that, right? He gonna take his tight end and he gonna throw the tight end right into that pile right there, right? So Kenny Clark already pinned down, right? You got Solomon Thomas gonna fall on him, boom. Then you got Wanye dove on him, Sam Williams dove on him. Everybody dove on Kenny Clark after he got his leg pinned and just ran him over. Look at Kenny. Kenny over here. He got ran over. And the ball still laying on his leg because he knew what he was doing. 60, he's trying to hurt him. But anyway, that's what happened to him, right? It's only a 2 yard game, right? But did it have an effect on the players? Yeah, because Wanye got out after that because Wanye got hurt even though he made the tackle. Wanye got hurt on this tackle. And then look at Clowney. Wanye gonna smack Clowney, and so is Shamar James. So Shamar James over here, Clowney's up top, sealing the edge right there. Boom. So he right there, Wanye hit him in his face, boom, or in his rib, right here. Boom. He gonna hit the ground, boom. And then Shamar James not looking at what he's tackling. Shamar James gonna hit him in the top of the head, boom. And that's why he helping him up because he like, I ain't mean to smack you, buddy. But I say all that to say, when you paying attention to what's actually happening on the field, like you can see even 1 yard runs, they count. When you're running power like that, it counts because that's how you get the bigger runs later. That's how they were getting big runs later because after that, you think guys want to hustle and tackle when that's what's been happening to you over and over again. No, that shit hurt, man. I don't care how tough you is. A helmet to the hand, you're going to feel that a couple plays. Your fingers ain't right. You're numb. You know what I mean? Guys falling on your legs and on your Achilles and on your ankle. Yeah, you feel that. You feel all of that. Might as well let Overshawn fully heal and let him come back next year. Nah. We need his ass this year with Dak playing the way he playing. We can make it to the playoffs, I think. My idea 3-4 has three monsters, one a one tech like Carolina Panthers did. Oh, what's up, Big Art? That's my man. You funny as shit, man. All the he DM me on IG all day, sending me memes and funny cowboy shit, man. Like I look forward to your messages, man. You funny as hell when you send me some shit, man. Funny. Um, hold on a second. All right, let me see. You said 3-4. You will use some we got the guys to play 3-4 though. If you took Osa and put him at 3-4 defensive end and Solomon, this should be your starting lineup. It should be Solomon Thomas, 3-4 defensive end. It should be Osa, 3-4 defensive end. Both of them playing forward tech, and Kenny Clark in the middle. That's your starting lineup. All three of those guys can take double teams here or there, right? Depending on what side the fourth side is, right? And then you got Ezra Rocco on the outside of that and Clowney outside of that. That's a good 3-4 starting lineup. Or you could take Clowney out, put Nealon in, or you could take Osa out and put Nealon in at 3-4 defensive end. Nealon can do both. He could do stand up outside linebacker in 3-4 or 3-4 defensive end. Either way, I'm happy with that. You know what I'm saying? And who also plays 3-4 defensive end and does it pretty well is our guy Marist Liufau. Let me show you what he looks like at 3-4 defensive end. He actually got us a sack at 3-4 defensive end, right around here, right here. Boom. This is 3-4. The guy with his hair on fire is Morris. But you look at what's happening, right? You see Osa. The Osa's where I said I want him, right? Sam Williams is playing 3-4 defensive end here, but I would rather have Nealand or Solomon Thomas here, right? That front right there, you're not going to run on, even though they don't run on this one because they're passing. But I would rather have those guys out there than Sam Williams. But look, this is 3-4. Osa out here playing four tech. Osa lining up against tackles on a consistent basis. Osa a whoop a tackle because he's too strong for a tackle. He's just not too strong for guards. But tackles aren't used to dealing with guys with Osa's strength, right? So Osa would kill a tackle if you use him more like they use J.J. Watt. I think Osa would be, I think Osa would have a good career. And then the same thing. If you took on this other side, this should be Solomon Thomas where Sam Williams is. And I would be happy with that. Even though you're going to give up some pass rush, you're going to control the line of scrimmage with those three guys alone. And then those guys firing off the edge like you see here. The reason we get the sack is because Liufau doesn't have to deal with a real lineman because they're all saying, okay, we got to deal with this 3-4 front, right? So they slide the protection to try to block Clowney with a tight end. And even that is a problem, right? Because you got Clowney on a tight end, right? That's a problem for your offense because Clowney's going to beat tight ends eventually. You know what I'm saying? Osa is going to beat your tackles. You got Kenny Clark, you're used to dealing with double teams. And if you had Solomon Thomas over here, who's violent and vicious, that's all the more reason I like 3-4. But beyond that, you got an edge rusher or a guy who you're blitzing off the edge. Your outside linebackers are dealing with running backs or tight ends. You're going to get more sacks that way, fellas. You're going to get more sacks that way. Even Kenny Clark and Osa got there. Watch what they do. They get there. Watch Osa dealing with a tackle by himself. What did I tell you he'll do to a tackle by himself? He's too powerful for a tackle. Just watch Osa and Kenny Clark. Watch them. Boom. Kenny Clark runs through the double team, collapses the A gap. And then when Osa actually puts his feet in the ground and drives, he's going to drive that tackle right to the quarterback. Boom. And Marist was already there, but they would have got there anyway. You know what I'm saying? They would have got there. So I like the 3-4 too. I just think Solomon Thomas should be playing more. If you run a 3-4, you should start running Sam Williams out there in the 3-4. You know what I mean? And you should let Morris play a lot more. Look at what Morris almost did on this play, man. Like he went straight for he taxed the football. Boom. He hits him so hard, like it was like he didn't even know it was coming. Boom. Pop. Punched the shit out of him. Morris is crazy, man. I love that dude, man. Morris crazy. Yeah, I like him. Like him a lot, man. But yeah, we definitely run some 3-4 looks. Yep. Let's see what we got going on here. He says, in my opinion, as of right now, James is Clark 2.0. First year have a crazy amount of tackles, but people don't realize the average depth of the tackle is terrible. Yeah, he's not that good. And they get mad when I say it, but he's not good at changing direction. I think a linebacker in this day and age You can't be tight in the hips, pause. You gotta have some dexterity or some agility, and he don't have it. We're putting a lot on Overshawn. He's expected to be the defensive savior. Ain't nobody saving this defense except for the defense. Everybody, all 11 guys, are gonna have to get up and play better. And Eberflus is gonna have to stick to a style that works. So versus the run, 3-4 is working. That's what we should stick to. Especially if you're gonna have Marist Liufau as an outside linebacker, keep him there. And he can play Sam in the 3-4. He can cover a little bit out of there. He can blitz from there, and he can set your edges from there, and you'll be fine. Leave him there if you're going to do that. If you're not going to leave him, you're not going to play 3-4, you got to get Shamar James off the field, and you got to put Liufau where Shamar James is. Or when Shamar James gets off the field because Sanborn is back, same thing. Leave Liufau at outside linebacker in the 3-4, and I would like that. Right, I would like that. Sounds like you scheming a pass rush like they supposed to be doing. But we ain't seeing it as a fact. I'm probably adding more sauce to it with my imagination than what's actual. That's true. I ain't gonna lie. He said Eberflus sucks. Cowboys beat. What's up, Chris? I mean, you are what you've recently done, and I can't take it off Eberflus. I like Eberflus's scheme. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like what he's teaching or the way he's teaching it, but I've seen players that can play within his scheme. They look damn good in his scheme. But it was a year after he was ranked 32nd versus the run. He was 32nd in the league versus run his first season with the Chicago Bears. So ain't that kind of crazy that he's doing that again this year? I mean, he ain't 32nd, but we don't look good. You know what I mean? So maybe it takes a while for players to catch on to what he's asking. Who knows? But this happened before to him. And that's what Jerry Jones was talking about when he said, I'd rather be in the foxhole with him because I've seen him up, I've seen him down, I've seen him bounce back from those things. And that's true. You've seen Eberflus in Indianapolis when he went over to Indianapolis. Same thing. He wasn't good his first year there either. Then all of a sudden, Darius Leonard became the Marist Liufau of that defense, start punching everything out. They start forcing turnovers, and they got somewhere with the run game, and he started looking good, right? And then he got himself a head coaching job because of how good he did there. And then in Chicago, first year there, 32nd. You guys can look this stuff up. I ain't making it up. And then the very next year, he was top 10 defense. He had a top 10 defense. So it's not that he doesn't know. I think players take a while to gel, and I think he also takes a while to go get the type of guys that he thinks fits his scheme. I think he makes cornerbacks better by allowing them to play within the system, but he doesn't have system cornerbacks here. He has man coverage cornerbacks. They don't need to cover grass. They don't need to wait for balls to come their way, hopefully. You need to just put them in man and let the quarterback target them and then let them do what they do. But he doesn't like to coach that way. So there's the problem. He's stubborn. You just said it too. Stubbornness is a fireable offense to me. Yeah, I agree there. Megatwan, what's up, Brody? He said the scheme I have an issue with. I mean, bruh, it makes zero sense if we don't have the cars to do to run the scheme. That's true. We see Chicago defense was not the problem last year. That's what gave us hope. Yeah, it wasn't the problem. The offense was. He is teaching these dudes to play off so far. I don't know if he's doing that or not, because they didn't even want Diggs to be pressing when he did that against Chicago, that play he made against Chicago, where he slipped. He wasn't supposed to press on that play. So I don't know. Sometimes these guys out there doing dumb shit on their own. And they said that they didn't want Bland to be 8 yards off the ball. They said Bland thought he was closer than he was, and he was too far off. Yeah, he should have been like 4 yards off, and he went back 8 yards. You know what I mean? Didn't like the grits comment either, but he following suit of folks up top. I didn't see the grits comment. I don't know what happened with the grits comment. Thank you, Akoye. You the only content creator that knows what he's talking about. I don't know. I don't listen to nobody, but there's some guys out there that know what they're talking about, I think. But I don't think they got time to really say it. Why when they press, they don't jam either? Yeah, that's dumb to me. Well, when you press and you don't jam, you're playing like bail. That's bail. Like you're bailing out instead of pressing. You just want them to think you're pressing because you want them to think that you're going to have room behind them. But if I stand in front of you and I don't press and I show press, is because maybe I'm not confident that I can hold you at the line for long enough. You might beat me off the line of scrimmage, or I'm trying to bait the quarterback into a quick throw behind me, a slant or anything else, and I want to be loose and ready to drive on that. I like the switch up, but you need to press most of the time. And I think if you pressed with this defense, if you're going to play two high corner safeties anyway, press all day, even if you uncover two. Let me show you some plays. Let me show. Do I got them? No, I don't want to have to go into the NFL's app because when I go in there, it's bad for me. But let me see if I got it. If I got some coverage looks, I'll show you what I mean. Of us covering. Boom, 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 boom. In the air. Let me see. Is this us? Yeah, this us. Okay. Let me see what I got. All right. I think this play here is the first one. Is this it? Yeah, I think this was one of them. Like, look at the coverage here, right? Boom. Now look at the bottom of the screen. I don't need Bland. You see Bland? Bland is here covering grass. There's nothing here. I don't need Bland doing that every play, or Diggs. I don't need either one of them doing that every play. You see, Marist was there to kind of like clean that up later, but you got him in the flats, which I didn't mind too much. But all they did was run the safety off and run the corner off, and then there's nothing for anyone else to do. This was just an easy completion because we ran cover 3 here, which people have been asking for. But if you're going to run it, right, reroute these guys. Meaning at the line of scrimmage when they snap, reroute, have your linebackers right here. Oh, he does touch him, but don't just tap him. Reroute the guy. Like really push him off of his route. If you're Kenny Murray, push him off his route because then he doesn't get there as fast. The quarterback has to hold his ball. He should be pushed into Shamar James so hard that now he's out of position. You know what I'm saying? He's not though because you just let these guys have free releases. That's what we're doing wrong, in my opinion. And then for those who say there's no pass rush, look at the pass rush on the same play. Watch it. Boom. All right. Boom. Okay. Now, if he's off route or if you're just covering this guy, they got enough time to do something, right? They don't if you got guys wide open. Like, look at this look. Look by the time he gets to the bottom of his drop, boom. He has to hold his ball. The gap, I mean, the A gap is collapsed, but he's wide open. Like this is wide open. And you got two linebackers in front of him. There's nothing released in front of y'all. Nothing's in front of them. Nothing. Turn and find some work if you're Murray, right? Turn and find some work. But there's nothing. You got three guys at the bottom of the screen. There's no release to the right. So there's nothing for Bland to cover. Both tight ends don't release. So Bland is just out here covering grass. Shamar James covering grass. Murray covering grass. Nobody's covering shit because they not looking and finding work. Find some work behind you if you got nothing to do. Like nobody's finding shit. We don't need you to stand and cover grass. We're not paying you to cover grass. Now we're playing cover 3. Playing cover 3 worked out a little better. Let's see what happens though. Let's watch. Boom. Got Reddy Stewart at the top of the screen. Yeah, I don't like the free releases. Like, look at Reddy Stewart, and I would say Reddy Stewart, and this is what I used to see consistently. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What up, big? I'm on a show, but what's up? I mean, I can't. You ain't. I mean, we ain't talk about that. What's up? You want me to go get her? Yeah, I'll go get her. But I thought we was going to the city though. All right, so go get her. Go get her for me then. All right. All right. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll go get her. Go ahead. My bad, Joe. Anyway, so see here, what I will want, right, is reroutes. Like everything in the seam. If you want you want to force a team to throw to the outside, then mess up the timing of these seam routes. Whether it's the defensive ends doing it, you see that? whether it's the defensive ends or your linebackers. See Shamar James at the bottom of the screen, he goes to press Leggett and he just hugs him, right? That's cool. All right, cool. At the top of the screen, though, right? Same thing. Have Reddy Stewart reroute one of these guys like Winfro, whatever his name is. Have him reroute him so that he doesn't just get a free release to the safety into the corner, right? He shouldn't get a free release. Everybody shouldn't have a free release on the play. I don't like that. Like disrupt the timing. I see here the reason this play is thrown dead though is because look at Murray. So these are the things that Murray does that he don't get credit for. Like Murray, if somebody just plays with him, pause. But if somebody like play with him the wrong way, if a quarterback doesn't trust what they see when they're looking at Murray going to jump something because you see he jumps under 82 right there. Boom. He tries to jump that. Reddy Stewart's behind that trying to jump that route to the wide receiver. But then underneath Diggs and Thomas, you see that route open up, and he sits that tight end sits down in that window, and that's Winfro, sits down in that window and almost gets the completion there. But let's see what happens here. Boom. And the pass rush is, they moving fast enough to do something. You just gotta change the rhythm. Like if you change their rhythm up, meaning if you bought them some more time by either playing man or by pressing, they get there. Or he's running. He had to get rid of that. Mess up the timing of this offense. That's all I want to see. Let's see. All right, so we in man look like right here. Boom. Diggs is covering this guy. Everybody, so man, I like man a lot better. Look right here. By the time he gets to the bottom of his drop, he gets rid of this ball, but Diggs has already knocked this guy down by mistake. But you know what I mean? He had to get rid of the ball because of his clock. Nobody was in front of him. Nobody got to him. It's just that look, Diggs off the rip, and Winfro off the rip. Who's that flashed down there like that though? Let me see. Somebody jumped into. Okay, that's a defensive end. Yeah, that's Fowler that jumped out into the hot zone. So when I say a heat seeker defense is when you have a defensive lineman that jumps out and covers, and a team that does this very well. Let me show you real quick. So honestly, there's no rhyme or reason for this breakdown. Right? I'm just going all over the place, but I want y'all to see something because I love what Denver does. Right? Let me see if I got Denver. Denver does this all the time. I call it heat seeker. Let me see if I got Denver in here. Is this the Denver one? No Denver. Maybe I missed Denver. Let me remove that. Hold on. Where is it? I removed this from the stage. Let me get to Denver real quick. If I got Denver, I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't do it. KC and Baltimore. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I got Denver in this one. Yeah, Denver does it all the time though. But they'll take their defensive linemen and they'll jump right into those passing lanes real quick, like you see Fowler doing right here. So they blitz on this one, right? Don't get anywhere with the blitz because it's just whack the way they did it. But look at Ezeraku and Fowler. They both jump into those hot zone where you would go hot with the ball. If you read blitz and you throw the ball fast in any of these zones, you're done, right? And then you got that buys Elam time and it buys Diggs time to cover their guys, right? So Elam and Diggs are blanketing their guys, and the two guys underneath are doubled. So he has to get rid of that ball. That would have been a coverage sack if he holds onto the ball for whatever reason, or if he decides to run. You got enough guys out there with athleticism to chase and tackle this ball, but boom. Not a horrible concept there. I like what I saw there. So you got Reddy Stewart off the top of the screen showing a blitz. You notice his zone from the spacing, or it looks like zone. And they actually are playing, they're playing zone. So watch this, right? Now, at the top of the screen, you see Diggs, right? You got Diggs versus, I don't even know who that is. Is Diggs playing man? Diggs is playing zone 2. So they're playing cover 2, right? This is cover 2. All right. You got Murray's job is deep middle. So you see Murray turning and looking for some action in deep middle. But Murray's job is deep middle. He's looking for any of those in breaking routes behind him. So you see that post pattern. Murray's on that, and so is the safety. That is Marquise Bell, right? But watch at the bottom of the screen. Why the hell? And this is why I like man instead of zone. Because why in the hell do we need Bland covering the flats when you got a ISO with Wilson at the top of the screen? I don't necessarily blame Wilson for this. I blame the idea that you even gonna run this in the first, like the ignorance of running this in the first place is just crazy. Why are you running this? And then even if you're gonna run it, if you're gonna run cover two here, right? And you know you got one-on-one with Dono at the top of the screen, you know who should be pressed? Both these guys under Dono. If you're gonna ask Dono to do this job, you gotta give him time to get there. You don't give a free release to Dono. You don't give them a free release to him. You press them. So why wouldn't we be pressing here? Right? You reroute these guys so that when they actually get up to Dono, he don't have time to do a double move because he's already been delayed by the press underneath. There should be a strong press on this play, right? If that's the case, Dono doesn't get in and out here, right? They don't have time to in and out him here and cook him like that. They cooked him bad. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't help him at all. I mean, it's not straight down. I don't blame Dono for being in that position. I blame the coach for putting him in the position. But if you're gonna put him in that position, give him some help. Meaning reroute the guys that's underneath him. Just giving a free release to guys and saying, "Hey, Dono, play like you're what's the dude's name? James something. James, I forgot the safety's name that plays for this for the Chargers. What's his name? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about though. But play like you're Wanye Thomas even. He's not that either. Let's see what we're doing here. This is zone, clearly. Now you got Diggs 15 yards or 10 yards off the ball at the snap and counting. All right. Look at this. See what I'm saying? Why are we got guys who can erase this stuff. Look at what Diggs is doing on this play. He's playing zone. And playing loose zone like a mug. And let's look at Bland at the top of the screen. What's he covering? He's playing zone. Right, but look at who's running free right now. So look in the middle of the field. You see 17 running free underneath Bland, right? You know why? Because we don't reroute anybody. So look at this. Press him if you're ready, Stewart. Somebody should be pressing. Somebody should be pressing 17. So you see Kenneth Murray tries it here. You don't really get anything off of him though, but he's wide open right now, right? But by this point, he's already targeting the seam. And Reddy Stewart's on the scene, but what's he covering? Reddy Stewart, boom. Reddy Stewart's right there. He stops running. Why? I don't know. What is this shit here? This is a clusterfuck right here for sure. Because all you got to do, you will be much better off. Reddy Stewart, you're playing man. Diggs, you're playing man. And guess what? If you're going to have this personnel out here, Bland, you're either playing man in the slot over here in the trips, or you're going to say, hey, Murray, we're going to give you help, but you're playing man against Leggett, right? Inside. So Murray could be playing man right now. He has help inside. Either way you slice it, that's cool with me. But having Diggs just out here covering grass while you have this happening to you, this is why it's happening to you. This is why it's happening to you. The zone concepts just don't make any sense. That don't make sense. That don't make no sense. And to be honest, had you just played, man, you would have got there. Right here. Boom. You'd have got there if you gave yourself an extra second. But they'll tell you, hey, the pass rush ain't worth shit. Well, they ain't gonna be worth shit if you got guys that if they could just pitch and catch like this, they ain't gonna be worth shit because you're not gonna hold up long enough for them to get there. Right there, that would have been a sack for you right there for Osa, or at least a pass breakup. Wouldn't have been a completion like that. That's for sure. All right, now you got your corners playing off, right? That means you must be getting a blitz from the safety. Are we? Oh, maybe. No, we're not. We're playing cover 3, loose coochie cover 3. Excuse my French. No offense to the ladies. But that's what we're playing. Loose coochie cover 3. And then they have a cover 3 beater because they're going to run a rail route with Rico. So watch this. This is a cover 3 beater right here. So you ran that crosser to get Bland to go across the field. And then they're gonna now exchange that zone because Bland's supposed to be doing that because he's playing cover 3. Bland is where he's supposed to be. So is Wilson at the top of the screen. But look how late Wilson is too to get out. Well, just watch Wilson. Wilson don't get beat on this play, but he would have. Look at his hips are turned inside, right? Right now, still in, right? You see the setup, Wilson, but you got help out there. Why are you converging on that? Your help is out there. If they were to throw the ball outside, you got Diggs out there, right? So you don't need to fully turn into this. He turns, locks his hips. As soon as he gets locked, boom. He would have been beat too. Wilson was beat. And then, the scheme got beat on this one because, again, they're covering for, I think they were covering, I think Marist is covering like a tight end screen, maybe one-man screen, he's thinking. Yeah, he's covering the tight end in the flat, Marist is. What is Murray looking at? Murray is covering the tight end too. Why? I don't know. But I know they left him wide open. Nobody just looked to see like, hey, pay attention. There's a running back streak and nobody's communicating. So they are right about that because either Marist or Murray, one of y'all got to take this running back that's streaking upfield and know that, Bland's zone is going to be flooded. Even if he's over there, that zone is flooded. Y'all got to know that, right? What Murray, I blame Murray for this one because you're the last man to see. And at the end of the day, you see that you got a man shallow and Liufau is shallow right now, right? So let the shallow man cover the shallow man. You keep the guy that's up top. Murray screwed that up. And I give you credit for coverage all the time, but he screwed that up like a motherfucker. Let's watch it from this angle. And then pass rush wise, let's see. Okay, what the hell, Jay Toia? Watch this. So Jay Toia, boom, they running the stunt right. Oh shit, screwed that up. Yeah, screwed that up. Let me see. I think it's this play. Yeah, they're running a stunt right now. So this is a stunt. Jay Toia is supposed to be the wedge guy. He's supposed to go upfield. And then Donovan Ezaraku is cutting off of him. You see that? He's cutting off his hip. Jay Toia, what are you doing? Boop! Blocking your own man to his. He pancaked Ezaraku on this play. Now, if this was Mozzie, they'd be like, get him off the field. It's Jay Toia. They'd be like, he's got work to do. He's a young player. I don't understand. But oh well. Touchdown as a result of all the bullshit that was going on up there. All right, here. I think this is that fourth down play. Right. Yes, it is. Now, everybody who's mad at Murray for this play, I'm not as mad. I am mad that you don't ask them, you don't have him lined up over the center. You got him lined up all the way out here. Right. If you lined him up a little bit closer to the center, he can make this play. He would have made that play. He almost made it, lined up where he is. But look where he is. He's all the way over the tackle. He should be over 64. If he's over 64 at the start of this play is an interception going the opposite way right there. He already saw the quarterback's eyes. You see how close he got to the ball from where he was? Had he just been a half a step closer to the ball, he would have made it. Boom. Yeah, I don't understand the call there. That was dumb. Even if you'd have just lined up without mugging the line of scrimmage, it would have been better than that. But again, we got a bunch. I haven't seen but 2 plays where you had Diggs in them covering in man. And on both of those plays, nothing happened. They threw the ball in the dirt. But every time they're covering zone, they're allowing too many people to run free. So right here, boom. Are we in man or zone? I think they're in zone. Let me see. Yeah, this is cover 2. Cover 2. They throw a screen underneath that. Bland gonna get rocked on this one. I seen that. Boom. Yeah, Bland came in and hit. Got rocked. But craziness, man. Derwin James. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Damn, I've been sitting here too long, man. My fucking legs going to sleep on. Crazy. Then the pass rush is just discombobulated. So there's supposed to be a twist going on between Osa and Slam Williams. They don't even get to it. Look, boop. They both fall into each other. Clumsiness. Shamar James come and smack somebody on that one. Good tackle there by Murray. Murray's paying attention here. Let's see. Boom. You don't get taken out of the play. He sees it. Sam Williams was recovering on that one too. They both did a good job. But Murray, good job there. This play here pissed me off at Sam. Because Sam, you could have like this would have never happened. This ain't even a horrible call. They actually called man. Now you call man, though. This was the dumbest thing I seen. But why you call man when you should call zone? Like right now, you should be playing zone, but just pressing while you playing zone. They call man here, and you got Wilson on a receiver by himself again, right? But look at Sam Williams. You beat this. You gotta win there, Sam, and that don't happen. That's why he looking pissed off too. But you gotta win right here. They set you up for the win. They set you up for the win right here. First off, reroute this receiver, hit that receiver. That receiver, so you give Donovan Wilson some time. Hit the motherfucker. But you don't hit him. They go after your knee, right? I see that. That happened. But you got to make this tackle. You got to make that tackle. You make that tackle game, they don't win this game. He knows. That's why he's sitting there like this. Look how he said. He knows. You see Sam Williams right there? He knows. He's like, God damn. Because you got chances to be great and you keep failing. Oh, shit. I keep doing that. Boom. That's a touchdown. Yeah. Boom. All right, here we go. On this one here, let's see what happened. Clowney, this was your shot right here, Clowney. You could have killed this play. But Donald does a good job here, and they put the ball in the dirt. Almost every time we played, man, they put the ball in the dirt. Let me see if this man or this cover two. Look like cover two. It's cover two. You got your best corners covering a bunch of grass. They don't get anywhere on this one because of the pass rush, but still, you got your best corners covering grass most of the game. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Force them to throw the ball at your best guys. Right there, Kenny Clark. I think Kenny Clark got home. Yeah, Kenny Clark is going to get home on this one. Boom. And break that up. But yeah, without that, without him doing that, you probably got another wide open pocket once again. Let's see what we got here. Now, everybody keep talking about Houston, but Houston, I haven't seen him screw up versus run. I keep hearing the coaches talk about his run fits, but Houston's the one defensive end that hasn't screwed up on film for me versus run. Because look how he plays this. He sets the edge, forcing the ball to stay inside. That's the only reason Shamar James has a shot at this, right? And then he changes directions and makes the play. Him and Shamar. Really, he made it himself. Shamar just got there late. But I like what I saw in Houston. Right, this one he gets knocked down, but this ain't on him though. He stepped right on Donovan. Donovan was hurt too. Watch how Donovan get up after this. But watch this. Let me see what happens. So Houston's going to get sealed inside or get knocked down somehow. 82 got him. 82 got 82 got everybody, man. Yo, 82 a beast, bro. Yo, he got everybody. Every defensive end on the team, 82 put him on his ass or drove him back this game. Every last one of them. Watch, he's strong as shit. Something up with him, man. I get him tested. And then watch it. Why you fly kick? He super fly Jimmy Snooker kick this man. Watch this. Pussy. Watch Donovan get up. He got up slow as hell, walk to the sideline. He fucked Donovan up. Yo. Oh, I gotta see it again. Like, pussy, get the fuck out of here. Yo, he kicked the shit out of you. That ain't even legal. You can't fly kick nobody in football, man. What are y'all doing? Yo, he really fly kicked him. Damn, he the last dragon. Watch this. Yeah. Kick the shit out of Buddy. Damn. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Anyway, I think that was enough film, man. I did 2 hours. Y'all got enough film today, man. Let me see what y'all saying real quick, and then we done. Most of the game, double teams on Osa, Toya were climbing and clean. Yep, the guards weren't getting knocked back. They were pushing literally and sealing all day. Yep. He said Trey Williams for 82. Yeah, 82 is that bull when it comes to blocking. He said, what the fuck am I watching? He mad as hell. He said always at least one player looking lost on any given play. Yeah, they don't collectively know what they're doing. I hope Dallas has been scouting defensive coordinators for the next season because I wouldn't even chance it keeping Eberflus for the long haul. They gonna try because Jerry picked him. He gonna try to make himself be right later. Revel was at practice working the cords with a brace on his knee. That ain't good. Revel ain't coming back yet. He said exactly. I like man better. Yeah. Trade. Boom. Uh, all right. To the Black Paladin. Oh, you know what a Paladin is? You must play Final Fantasy, man. I played that back in the day, man. Yeah. But I gotta go. I'm about to go pick up my daughter and I'm running down to the city. I've been sitting here too long and my legs starting to hurt to be honest. So I'm out of here. But I hope y'all enjoyed the live film and understand that it is a combination of both. It's the players' effort and the coach too. We stuck with Eberflus the rest of the season, according to Jerry. So I ain't gonna bitch about Eberflus no more because it ain't like it's gonna change. I like to complain about things I can actually change. I can't change Eberflus being here. So let's just try to reevaluate what he's doing, and hopefully the players gel with the scheme at some point, or he just starts to send the army at quarterbacks, just blitz and play man. If he does that, we automatically get better today because you got two corners who can play man. You got three. Elam can play man too. And Revel, when he comes back, all those guys can play man. And your safeties, you got one safety who can roam and play man as well, which is Wanye Thomas. So we have a man coverage team. Everybody can play man except for Donovan Wilson. And if you want to take Donovan Wilson and put him in the middle of the field and have him crack shit doing that, cool. Play man everywhere else. But he ain't a zone cover safety. And these guys ain't pressing to give him time anyway. So you gotta play physical somewhere. And I just want to see it. So peace, y'all.